thank you for watching my channel today. My name is Sarah and my channel is called Your True Shelf. And today I've got my holiday reading vlog for you. It's when we went to Cornwall, which is, if you're not in the UK, it's at the very southwest tip of the country of England, and it's very, very beautiful. It's kind of got like tropical seas, not in terms of temperature but in terms of colour, and it's a place that we go to every year, and we have been for quite a few years now. So I went to a place called St Ives, which is a really gorgeous little town. It's got an independent bookshop, and we were staying like literally 1 minute walk from the independent bookshop. So I went there quite a few times, and I will come back at the end of the video and show you what we hauled. Seems like ages ago now that I went, but I've been back at work for 2 weeks now, I think. So yeah, it feels like ages ago, and everyone's going into autumn mode. But yes, I will get on without talking anymore and let you watch the books that I read on holiday, and then I'll come back and do my little book haul at the end. This is our kitchen. Super nice. Thought I'd get a video of it before it gets any mess in at all. And then we go through to the lounge, which is lovely. And view out of the window, we're right on the high street, so. And the bathroom is insane. So you go down these steps and then down a little corridor into the shower area, which is an enormous shower, all the way through into another bathroom. Amazing. So nice. I'm lying on the beach and I'm being brave and just talking to you, even though there's people around, which I don't like doing, but I am. I've just been in the independent bookshop, which was very, very crowded, so it was really difficult. I couldn't really record anything in there, but I didn't buy anything because I wasn't really sure what I wanted. There was quite a few things in there in hardback, which I try not to buy hardbacks if I can, just because they're so pricey. There was a couple of books I wanted, but there was this like silly little fly in there which kept biting my legs, and so because it was like getting really painful, I just had to stop and come out the shop. And so I didn't buy anything, but what I want to do is write down some books on my wish list, because there's no internet signal in there to look at my wish list while I'm in there. So when I kind of look in advance before I go in, then I'll feel less spoiled for choice, I think. What I'm currently reading is a book called The Frequency of Us. I can't remember the author's name, but I'll put it here, which is a book that I downloaded on my Kindle absolutely ages ago, but I didn't really have that much interest in reading it these days. And yesterday I brought my Kindle to the beach and I had forgotten to download anything new, so I just had to look at what was downloaded already, and that was one of the books on there. There wasn't very many, and I thought I'd just give it a go, and I ended up quite getting into it. So I read about 20% yesterday in one go, and it's quite a nice, easy book. It's about a guy who was in World War II. He was in his garden where he lived with his wife, and a bomb exploded in his garden, and after that event he couldn't find his wife, and everyone kept saying like they didn't know what was wrong with him because he never had a wife. He always lived there on his own, and some strange things were happening, and there was a really sort of hazy time for him after the war. And then it cuts to present day, where there's a young girl who's she's not a social worker, she's a carer, who has been asked to go and visit this guy for an hour 3 times a week to sort of assess what his care needs are and whether he has dementia or not. And so she's doing that, and we're learning her story because we know something bad's happened in her past. She's on antidepressants, she's really struggling with anxiety, and so they're kind of helping each other a little bit. but we don't really know what's gone on with the wife still. But there's kind of some spooky, supernatural type things going on in the house as well, which I think is a clue. So that's what I'm reading. I'm still reading The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, but that's quite a thick paperback. I'm really enjoying it, but I'm leaving that at the accommodation because I don't want to bring it around on the beach all the time. And then I am listening to Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So so far I've read People We Meet on Vacation, and I can't remember what the other was. It Beach Read, I think, was the other one. And I wasn't hugely fussed. I thought they were fine. But I wanted to give her another go, and so I'm now listening to Book Lovers, which I'm really, really enjoying so far. I've listened to, I don't know, like a couple of hours or so. And yeah, so far that's good. So that's what I'm reading at the moment, and I'm just gonna enjoy some more of the sun while the kids are playing in the sea. And I'm just gonna sit here and read some more of the book on my Kindle. It's absolutely beautiful. It's lovely weather here, and I'm having the best time so far. Today's a rainy day. It's quite warm still, but it's really drizzly and not very nice weather. I think it's supposed to be the worst weather of the week. So we've just been relaxing today, just cooked some food. And so we decided that we're going to go to the Tate Modern because we haven't been there ever, and it's in St Ives. So we're going to go to there. Actually, it's not called the Tate Modern. I've just got it's called Tate St Ives Gallery. So hopefully the kids will enjoy it as well. Fingers crossed. Just been doing a bit of reading this morning, watching a bit of booktube. I am still really enjoying the Emily Henry book, Book Lovers. It's quite funny because the initial part of the book is the main character, Nora, talking about if her life was a romance novel, all of the kind of classic stereotypes and tropes that would happen in a romance novel, and then those kind of things start to happen in this romance novel. So I like how it's sort of playing with those obvious kind of things that happen. I'm really in the mood for romance novels at the moment. I also went through all my wish lists this morning and made like a paper list that I can take into bookshops to have a look for things that I know that I want to read. And so yeah, we're going to go off to the Tate Museum, and as long as I'm allowed to film in there, I will take you with me. And yeah, catch you later. So I bought 3 books in the independent bookshop, and so I will show you what I did buy. I've got 3 different genres here. So the first book that I bought was a romance book, and it's the first in a trilogy. I didn't realise to start with that it was part of a trilogy, but so it appears. So this is the first book and this is called Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. She's got a lot of hype in the romance community on YouTube, and so I'm excited to read this one. I think it might be like a summer read because I just feel like romance is good for summer, but I suppose around Christmas it's nice to read romance as well. And so this follows Alexis, who is a doctor in the ER, and she meets a guy who's 10 years younger than her. He's a carpenter, because carpenter trope from romances. And sorry if you can hear children screaming outside, it's not my children. And there's a chemistry there, but they don't really think it can go anywhere because of like career differences, age differences, commitment differences and stuff like that. And so she has to decide what she wants to do. I'm guessing it will end happily because it's a romance, but we'll see. The second one I got is a literary fiction, which was a bit of a cover buy, and this is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. The cover is just so stunning on this one, and this has a very similar cover to her first book, Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which I bought on Kindle last year and haven't read yet. So you could ask why I bought a second book by an author I haven't yet read. That's a very reasonable question. I don't know. But this follows the Blue Sisters, who are 4 sisters. One of them sadly dies, and then the 3 who are surviving are reunited a year later to try and stop the sale of their childhood home. And I think this sort of brings them together in their grief, and they sort of put aside any differences which might have been happening since their sister died. And I'm guessing it's kind of about healing from the grief of the loss of their sister over this time period. And then the final book, sorry, I don't know what's happening to my voice. The final book that I bought is a YA fantasy book, and this is Powerless by Lauren Roberts, which has got really gorgeous foiling on the front cover. I think this will be a really good autumn type read just from the front cover. The reason I got this was because I have been listening to a podcast called I'll Read What She's Reading, and it's 3 women, I'd say in their 20s in America, and they read a lot of romance and fantasy, and they are very enthusiastic about the books that they read, and they keep talking about how much they loved this trilogy. And so I saw it in the bookshop, and I have seen it in other places, and I bought it. It's supposed to have similar kind of things in it to The Hunger Games, which I really loved when I was, don't know, however many years younger than I am now. So this is following a woman called Payden, and she lives in a place where there's elites and ordinaries, and the elites are obviously like the ruling class, and she is posing as a psychic and is in the elites even though she's actually an ordinary. Then she saves the life of a prince, and there is then she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. So she's either going to die in the trials because she hasn't got any powers, or if they find out that she hasn't, then they'll kill her. So I'm guessing she doesn't die because there's 2 more books. But yeah, so that's that one. So speaking of series, my thoughts are that I'm in a bit of a muddle with all my series because I am a serial buyer. I didn't mean to make that really bad joke. And I have lots of series that I've bought the first book and haven't started it yet. And I also have series where I've started the first or second book and then haven't got any further yet. And so I feel like I need a video to bring all this together and organise my mind into what series I need to get a handle on, what series I need to start, and just sort of bring it all together and get some clarity. So that's going to be probably what my next video will be. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned, then tell me what you thought of them. And if you love Cornwall or you've been to Cornwall, tell me, or if you'd like to go. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you have a lovely week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.